Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Chef Vic Cuisine. Today we're making potato soup. Super creamy and delicious and perfect for those brisk fall or winter nights. This potato soup is one of my favorites. So let's get started. This recipe is super simple and takes no time to make, so let's start off by preparing the ingredients we need for this soup. Namely, we're going to need 1.5 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes that we're going to first peel each one, and then we're going to chop the potatoes along the length into discs. And then you want to double back with your knife and chop those discs into bite-sized pieces. We can set those aside for now while we move on to dicing up our onion. And for this recipe, we're going to use one small yellow onion that we're going to peel and finely chop. And that's pretty much the most chopping you're going to do in this recipe. So now you want to heat a large stock pot over medium-high heat, or 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. You want to add 5 slices of bacon into the pot and cook this until it's crispy. And once all your bacon is cooked, you want to transfer them to a paper towel lined plate, leaving the bacon grease behind in the pot. Now we want to add in our diced onions and saute those in the bacon grease for about 5 minutes, stirring them until they become fragrant. We're now going to add 4 cloves of garlic minced into the pot and saute those with the onions for another 2 minutes and keep stirring it until it becomes fragrant as well. At this point, we want to stir in 1/4 cup's worth of all-purpose flour into the pot and constantly mix this and saute this with the onions and the garlic for about 1 minute, making sure that we stir it so that the flour doesn't burn. Here we want to add 2 cups worth of chicken stock to the pot, followed by 2 cups of milk, and stir these until they're well combined. At this point, we also want to add in our diced potatoes. We want to cook this mixture until the pot begins to simmer but not boil. And once it reaches this point, we want to reduce the heat to medium-low, or 249 degrees Fahrenheit or 120 degrees Celsius. Cover the pot and allow this to simmer for about 10 to 12 minutes, or until the potatoes are soft. And you can check that by using a fork. And a really important step in this recipe is that you want to stir the pot every 3 minutes so that the bottom of the pot does not burn. So this isn't a recipe that you can necessarily walk away from the oven for. And while that soup is cooking, we want to take our bacon and chop that up into small bite-sized pieces. And for garnishment, we want to take a green onion stalk and finely dice that along its length. So after that 10 or 12 minutes of simmering and our potatoes are now soft, we want to stir in 1 cup's worth of shredded cheddar cheese, 1/2 cup of sour cream, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, as well as our cooked bacon bits, reserving some for the topping. Stir all the ingredients together until the cheese and the sour cream have been incorporated. And at this point, you want to taste test your soup, and you can season with additional salt and pepper as necessary. And for final touches, you just want to ladle this into a serving bowl and garnish it with some extra shredded cheese, thinly sliced green onions, and the bacon bits. And just like that, you've made an amazing potato soup right at home. This is the peak of comfort food. Each bite is so good. This recipe makes enough for 8 servings, so there's plenty to go around. And when you do try this recipe at home, be sure to tag me at Chef Vic Cuisine or hashtag Chef Vic Cuisine so I can see your great takes on this dish. As always, this recipe and many more can be found in my cookbook, Chef Vic Cuisine Volume 3, Upgrading Your Inner Chef. And that's available on Amazon, and I'll be sure to leave a link to that in my description box. And feel free to click the pop-up on your screen for more information on that as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this soup recipe, and if you did, make sure you smash that like button for me. It's one of the best ways to help out the channel. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Victor and welcome to Chef Vic Cuisine. It's my goal to create new recipes each and every week that you can make for yourself, your family, or your friends. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you click that subscribe button too. And sharing is caring, so if you enjoyed this recipe and think someone else will too, feel free to share this with all your family and friends. And stay tuned for next week where I show you another really delicious meal, my empanada recipe. The filling in these empanadas is the real star. Well, thank you again for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. You can always check out more recipes on my page now. YouTube thinks you'll like this one, so let's see if they're right. And I'll catch you next time on another episode of Chef Vic Cuisine. And until then, peace.